Alright, welcome to Mr. Nelson's YouTube video over a nice little foldable on transformations. We're going to look at the two transformations that we've done thus far in reflections and translations. Okay, so what you're going to need is you're going to need 4 graphs that look like that, and you're going to need a nice sheet of paper like this. And you're going to have to write on the back reflections and on the front translations. Okay? You're also going to need a glue stick so you can glue your nice little graphs on your new piece of paper. But write the word reflections on one side and translations on the other. We're going to do 2 of each. That's why you have 2 graphs. Okay, so once you have your sheet all prepared with the 4 graphs pasted on and the nice little divider, we can get started. Alright, so on the side that says translation, for one of your translations you're going to have to do these 2 triangles that you see right here, 1 triangle and 2 triangle. Okay? I would prefer they be in separate colors, but if you don't want to do color, you don't have to. You've got the points right here for the first triangle and the points right here for the second. Okay? So if you need to, use the points to plot them so that you can have them on your paper. Also, you're going to need to write algebraic representation down here. Okay? And word representation. And then make sure you have this X and Y. Make sure there's some space here and space here because we're going to fill in there. Okay? I also put in the middle, if you notice, it says up and to the right is plus. And then you'll see on the next slide, down and to the left is minus, and I'll show you where you can put that just for translations. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Alright, so here you've got your nice little points. Oops. You've got your nice points of your triangle that is here in green, and then your new points right here. So make sure you plot those, okay, and label them correctly. And then as you can see down here, I have the algebraic representation with a nice space here and space here that we're going to fill in on. Okay? So this is the translation side that these 2 graphs are done on. And make sure you leave space down here and space here so we can write some stuff in. Okay? Alright, so on that first translation graph, I went ahead and did the algebraic representation. I added that +9 because we're going to the right. And I did -3 from the Y because you're going down. See, you can see that we went to the right and then down. See how A and A prime went to the right and then down? So that's why it's plus for going to the right to the X, and -3 for the Y. And then the word representation is to the right 9, because I went to the right 9, and I went down 3. Okay? And remember, if you need it, I put this nice little hint. If you go up or to the right in a translation, it is plus. And if you go down and to the left, it is minus. Okay? Okay, so let's look at the next one. On the next one, this is the same translation side. It's just the second translation we did. I put in X -8 because I went from positive to negative. So you can see I went to the left. Okay? And then I went up. So E went from there to there. And I went to the left and then up 8. So you can see here I did the word representation of to the left 8 and up 8. make sure you've got these nice points and these nice points, and then I've got this nice little thing right there. Down and to the left is minus, okay, or subtraction. And you can see we went to the left, so we've got subtraction, and we went up, so we've got addition. Remember, up is addition, okay? Alright, and then let's look at the reflection side. I've got the original points of A, B, C right here, okay? And then I've got the new points of A prime, B prime, C prime here. So this green figure right here is reflected across the, and I'll show you that in just a second. But make sure that you label and plot these points on your foldable. And write algebraic representation on the reflection side, and make sure you leave a little bit of space in front of the Y and in front of the X, okay, and have some space down by word representation so you can write that, okay. Alright, and the second graph of the reflection side, you've got the points right here, the old points of the green triangle, and then the new points, G prime, H prime, I prime, right here, of the new triangle. Okay, that should be H prime, I prime, G prime, sorry. And make sure you leave a little bit of space in front of your X and Y, and some space at the bottom so you can do the word representation. Okay? Alright, let's fill in that other one. Okay, so you can see that this was a reflection across the X-axis. So I wrote down here in your word representation, reflection across X-axis. And then I also added this right here. Okay, if you noticed, the only thing that changed between A and A prime was that 6 went from being a negative to a positive. And that 3 went from being a negative to a positive. Again with that last 3, from a negative to a positive. So when you reflect across the x-axis, it changes your y value by just changing the sign of your y. Okay? So it changes the y value by just changing the sign of your y. Okay? That is a reflection across the x-axis. And then the last one, we reflected across the y-axis. And so if you notice, you take a look at all your x values, and if you notice, you went from being a negative to being positive numbers. That's why I added this nice little negative sign. So when you reflect across the y-axis, the only thing that changes is the sign of your x value, or the value of all your x's. Okay? To do a reflection, all you have to do is count. Count how far away from the axis you're flipping across it is, and then count the other way. Okay? So if this went over